We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. Ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon.
We're ready for the road.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's education, the remix. And you are here.
We're ready.
And we are
We're ready.
excited
Yeah, we're
to
ready.
have you.
We're ready.
We're delighted
Yeah, we're
that
ready.
you decided to be
We're
part of
ready.
this revolution.
We're ready.
So
We're
welcome.
ready.
I hope you're ready.
We're ready.
I hope you've been feeling
We're
the
ready.
music.
We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready.
I
We're
hope
ready.
that you
We're
have
ready.
been enjoying
We're
that.
ready.
And thank you so much for enlisting.
We're ready for the
Now,
road.
as we know, education, as we know, it has changed. Everything has been disrupted and turned on its head.
We're ready for
And
the
COVID-19
road.
has been a crisis, certainly has presented so many opportunities. And I personally, I'm just so excited to
We're
be
ready.
here at this
We're
time.
ready.
I'm
Yeah, we're ready.
thrilled to be alive.
We're ready.
It's
Yeah, we're ready.
nerve-wracking,
We're
stressful
ready.
to be a teacher,
We're ready.
to be a
We're ready.
parent, to be a leader,
We're ready.
and
We're ready.
it just
We're
presents
ready.
so many
Yeah, we're ready.
challenges. But with all of
We're
that,
ready.
it
We're
is
ready.
important
We're
for us
ready.
to be here and to be ready for all
We're
the
ready
changes
for
that
the
are happening. And I know them to
LaShawnna, I'm not hearing Renee. The music is too loud over here. Can you stop the music?
All of the changes that are happening with that. You see all this rain. I'm actually blocked in where I live. I can't move. That's a great internet, praying that it doesn't fail, which is something that we have to work on as a country, wherever we are around the globe. And I know many of you are tuning in from all over. We have to ensure that we have proper internet access and connectivity now more than ever before. So I think that so much is upon us, and there's an urgency for change. And as educators, we can no longer sit back and watch it happen. We have to be a part of the change. We have to be advocating. And so this is why we've created this REMIX. Reimagine, to reflect, to rethink, in some instances to reconstruct. In some instances, we need to redo, like just mash it up and start it all over again. And so it takes all of us. It's going to take an entire community to be involved. I always say education is a team sport. And I believe that wholeheartedly. This is why we've assembled a group of thinkers, thought leaders, disruptors, not only in education, but in other fields as well, who are not afraid to press and to push and to demand better, especially because it concerns our children and they're the future of this country and the future of our world. So we really have to press in. And the COVID crisis has pushed us a little bit further, much further. And I'm just hoping that we are going to embrace that and move with the time. So there's this disposition of change that I think we all have to have, you know, like this kind of, I am in a space where change, I know it's inevitable, and I'm going to deal with it as it comes, and I'm going to face it head on, and we are going to get through this in a positive way. You know, we have to align ourselves with like-minded people. There are over 100 people, nearly 200 people here, and this is exactly what we need, because there's power in this kind of connection and in us, you know, coming up with ideas and generating discussion that will push our countries forward. So welcome. The objectives really are for us to reflect together on what's working in education, what has not served us, to inspire educators, to inspire each other through these chats that we'll have. And you are free at any time to comment, to ask questions, to respond to people's questions, because I believe that that's how we share and help each other. And it is in sharing that we learn, right? So we want to assess and develop solutions to address the widening gaps in inequality arising out of the COVID crisis. We know that some persons have coped well, others have not coped that well at all. And so it's important for us to understand the needs that exist and the growing needs that will exist as a result of this crisis, and then put ourselves in a position to be able to respond to many of those. Some teachers weren't able to get online at all. Some schools weren't able to get online and organize themselves in a way that they could do this. So how do we partner with others to ensure that that does not happen to us in the future? How do we get all our children connected? Who do we speak to? How do we lobby for this? You know, in order to ensure that everybody has an equal opportunity. Because, you know, especially in this region, in the Caribbean, with us people, once we're given that opportunity, we bust away. You know, we're gone. We only need an opportunity, and then and we'll excel. So over the next 2 days, I want you to grab a notepad. I want you to grab a drink. I want you to sit, relax, find a spot. I know many of you, like me, have children at home, but if you can find a spot, there may be sessions they need to listen to as well. And just take it all in. Take what works for you. Some or not all of it will, but I'm sure there will be most of it will be beneficial. Take it in, sit with it, see how you can assess the way you've been doing things. And if you need to share with somebody else, please feel free to do that. And we're looking forward to a really great time this week. Just a matter of housekeeping. This link will take you through for the rest of the afternoon. At the end of a session, we will take a few minutes, a break for a few minutes. But once you refresh your link, you'll be able to get back on and join the next session. Tomorrow there's another link that you will get for each concurrent session. And most of you have those already. Those have been sent to you via email. So listen, we're ready, you know. We're ready. We're ready. So don't forget, if you're on social media, tweet, post, and our hashtags are Education Remix, hashtag Education Remix, and hashtag Teach Good, Lead Good. Spread the word, let people know that the revolution is on, that we are going to be making really big changes outside of this in our schools, in our very classrooms. We're going to be advocating in our ministries of education because we definitely want to see things continue and to sustain the momentum that we've gained. So please feel free to share those. And that's it, I think, for housekeeping. So I hope you feel welcome. I hope you feel as pumped and excited as I am. I have been dying for 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. What date is it? The 24th of August, 2020. I have been having sleepless nights, just wanting this to get off the ground, because I believe it is such an important conversation. These 2 days are going to be rich with conversation and sharing and ideation and lots of innovation that we will see and learn of. And I believe that a lot of the knowledge resides in us. I keep saying that because it's true. It's all here on this live. It's all here in this virtual space. So please don't be bashful. Share. So we're going to move.
Before you move on though, Renee, I think the audience is having some issues with hearing the audio. I'm trying to work here on the back end to see if we can get it sorted out, but I'm not hearing from our technical team. So yeah, I'm looking at the messages here and they're having a lot of background noise and your audio is a bit low. So I'm trying to reach out to the technical team to see if they are seeing what is happening and if it can be fixed. Because yeah, so far persons have not been hearing very clearly. So I'm not sure if they're still able to see you.
Okay, let's check on that. And I was going off. You heard me. I was going off.
It was low at one point, and then it seems as if they're not hearing right now, and there's a bit of a background noise. I'm not sure. Shango, can you reach out to us, please?
And let me remind everybody to mute their mics, please. Are you hearing?
I can't see how to mute the mic.
I don't have anybody, any back. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Renee, are you hearing me?
Okay, everybody. So I'm going to introduce you to our moderator for this session, Julia Barnes. I'll hand you over to her in just a minute. I hope you're all hearing me right now. Give me a thumbs up if you are. So Julia is full of energy, full of passion, and this first session is on teacherpreneurship. And you know, this is such a new but not so new, a new but not. You can hear me. You're hearing me? Yes. Okay. So this is a really new but not so new topic, teacherpreneurship, and I'm excited to have these ladies here on this panel because they have been reinventing themselves and pivoting during this crisis and before. And Julia is going to introduce the rest of the panel, but she is a trained teacher in early childhood education. She went to St. Joseph's Teachers College. She began as I went to the MICO, so all the Miconians in the house, let me hear you, the MICO, but anyhow, we'll allow her. So she did early childhood education, and she recently started in her business, and she's known on Instagram and on social media as the boss teacher. She does podcasts and online coaching and support for teachers, and she is just simply amazing, and she uses technology to do this. going to hand over to her and ask her to introduce the rest of the panel to you. Julia, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Education Remix. How you do? How you guys doing? Let me know, first of all, in the chat, if you are able to hear me clearly, because this conversation today is very, very important, and I want to make sure you're getting everything from start to finish. So I am watching the chat right now. I want you to just type yes. Type yes in the chat box if you can hear me very, very clearly. And as we go throughout the session, guys, we started off a little rocky with the sound. So if you realize that there is a presenter who is speaking and you're not hearing them clearly, then just type in the chat and let us know. We have a very able team on the back end who is working on overdrive right now to fix any issues that you might be having. So please just let us know. Oh my goodness, the floods are coming in. All right, the chat is open up. Everybody is hearing clearly. Awesome, awesome. All right, great. So let's jump into today's conversation. But before we get to all of the talking, I want to introduce our panel. Now, these two women are powerhouses, teachers in their own right, and making great moves in entrepreneurship. So first of all, we have Natalia Whyte. And Natalia, I just want you to just say hi to them for a quick second, and then I tell them a little bit about you. Just 2 seconds, really, so they can see your face. Unmute yourself, Natalia, so they can hear you.
Hi, everyone. I hope that everyone is going good. Yeah, we're excited, right? Woo!
Awesome. So that's Natalia. And Natalia is a science educator. She's been teaching science for 9 years. She believes that teaching and learning must be fun. That's very, very important. But what really brought Natalia to this platform is the fact that she wants everyone to be able to maximize their potential. And with that, by doing so, she wrote a book, Recipe for Winning, a guide to success, to help everyone develop their own recipes for achieving their goals. She has also been doing online teaching, and she's now expanding her business to reach students right across the Caribbean. So you're going to hear a lot more from Natalia in a bit. So let's just hear from LaShawnna. LaShawnna, give them a little bit of your voice before I tell them who you are.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you.
All right, so that's LaShawnna, and LaShawnna is the real boss, right? She is an educator, the founder and CEO of SharEDTalent. Now, what SharEDTalent does is that they are a team that connects schools with freelancers from across multiple industries, right? And she helps these institutions to fill their human capital needs. Now, prior to becoming an entrepreneur, she held numerous positions in education, which includes an elementary school teacher, big up to all the early childhood teachers represented here. She was a math staff developer and a founding assistant principal coach, and independent consultant. Now, much of Natalia's work has been focused on leadership development, school improvement, and managing complex changes in the education system. So you understand that today's discussion is going to be lit. It's going to be filled with a lot of value, and I don't want you guys to miss any of it. So a little bit of housekeeping before we go. If you don't have a notebook and a pen, grab it now, because you're going to want to take notes. The next thing is we are going to be facilitating a Q&A section at the end. So I want you to look right below the chat where you have been typing all day. Look right at the bottom of the screen. You see an option to activate the question section. So if you have a specific question that you want to ask one of the panelists, please just go ahead and use that particular button and submit your questions. Do not type your questions in the chat. If you do, we might miss it, because you guys can see that the chat is moving so fast. So if you have a question that you want to ask, then just go ahead and type it in the question section that is right below the chat. So let's jump right into the discussion, ladies, and feel free to chime in at any point. Let's start off with who is a teacherpreneur, because that's a new term for a lot of teachers. It's a new term for most persons in business. So let's just define and use that as the framework for how we move forward. What does teacherpreneurship mean to you? You want to start off, Natalia? Go ahead.
So for me, a teacherpreneur is a teacher who has found a need. You have found a need and you can fill that need. And so you are in the process of creating your wealth, creating your opportunity. So you are creating opportunities by solving problems, utilizing your gifts, your purpose.
Awesome. LaShawnna?
A teacherpreneur goes beyond, above and beyond what's in the classroom, right? To be able to identify resources and, like you said, Natalia, problems that people have, and they're able to take their gifts as an educator, right, and go beyond just the classroom.
Right. And I totally agree with both of you. If you think of the word teacher and the word entrepreneur, the term teacherpreneur is essentially a mashup of the two. You are a teacher who is also an entrepreneur. But beyond that, you are not just a regular entrepreneur. You are using your skills as an educator to amplify your life, also impact the education system, and by and large, impact any other industry with your skills, your talents, and your expertise. So if you are a teacherpreneur, and I like the sub-theme that was selected for this particular session that says, from the classroom to the world. Understand that as a teacherpreneur, you're not just impacting your little space. You are impacting the world. Right, guys? Let me know if you agree with me. Anybody is ready?
I agree. I had a series of marathon last month, and I was able to capture students from Barbados, from Trinidad, from St. Lucia. And now, just over the weekend, a student from the United States heard that I'm the best chemistry teacher, and she came to, she solicited my help to tutor her. So we are not just restricted to our classroom. I'm not just restricted to Westwood or wherever else you work. We offer products, we have value, and our value in this global village can take us anywhere with the internet and these apps that we're on Zoom. We can connect to anybody and we can influence anybody and we can make a change.
Yes, LaShawnna, I love it. All right, go ahead.
No, like Natalia was saying, I'm here in New York City, right? Being able to collaborate with you, and I have the flexibility of being able to do that because I'm a teacherpreneur, right? So the flexibility that comes with that, but then also being able to have such a wide reach when it comes to support for school improvement.
Exactly. When I think of the phrase from the classroom to the world, I think of how so many teachers tend to box themselves in. And what I mean by that, you see that little rectangle that we have as our classroom? That's where a lot of teachers confine themselves physically and mentally. So 99% of their life is consumed by that little box. And today we are planting a seed. We want to open your mind so that you can realize that your life, your career, your level of income does not have to be defined to that little box. All of those things can be elevated from the classroom, which is your little paradigm box, to the world. And when Natalia talked about having students coming to her from all over the world, that is my life now. A lot of you know my story, how I left the classroom 2 years ago. And right now, as a full-time teacherpreneur, I impact individuals right across the world as well. And LaShawnna is here from New York in the United States. That is a big deal. The internet, open up your minds to the internet and you understand that this little thing called the internet has so much potential to expand you from your little classroom and open you up to the world. So my challenge, and this just popped into my head, guys, my challenge for you right now is to take the internet, social media, various different platforms a lot more seriously and see how you can use them to really expand your reach with your talent, with your skill and your expertise outside of just the little classroom that you teach in. Who is ready to expand? Type in the comments and let me know if you are ready to expand. I want to see those messages coming in. I'm watching the chat, guys. Ready to expand? Just type it and let me know. I'm waiting. Yes, Natalia, go ahead.
Yeah, you were talking about the box. The box is just more than our classroom, you know. Based on our interaction with persons or colleagues or students or a boss or a relationship, basically, we have allowed people to not just put us in a physical classroom box. We have allowed people to box us in, box our potential in, and say, this is something that, oh, I can't do it, it can't work. And I'm sure if when you are told, you made the announcement that I'm going to quit, I'm not going back in the classroom, people started telling you, how are you going to pay your bills? And you had to know that, listen, for me to pay my bills, it means that I need to get out of the classroom, because it means what I need to do, I need to do it faster. So a lot of us are not existing in our authentic self. God is giving us vision, God is giving us goal, God is giving us ideas, but we have spoken to people who have not yet seen the vision. We're sharing the vision with persons who are blind to our potential. They don't know what God is capable of doing for us. So when we talk about this box, we need to step out of the mental box that people put us in. Oh, you're not the entrepreneurship type. Oh, you're not the organized type. You can't run a school. They don't know that you have the potential to change. We all need to develop this growth mindset so that we can come out of the boxes of our minds and expand ourselves and our horizon.
Right. In the classroom, you're the CEO of your classroom, right? You think about all the things that you develop when you're in the classroom, all those skills that are transferable, right? So it's like identifying the things that are your superpowers and not taking for granted the things that you do every day, because they kind of come to you naturally like clockwork, but they're transferable and you can use them to, like you said earlier, to grow your wealth, but also in a way that is social entrepreneurship as well, right? It's not just to line your pockets, it's to help communities and families as well.
Awesome. I like the fact that you brought up the concept of social entrepreneurship, LaShawnna, because a lot of people don't really understand. And even as teachers, sometimes we don't realize how important social entrepreneurship is. So break that down for them for me. What is social entrepreneurship and how can a teacher impact in that space?
So social entrepreneurship is identifying a problem that is happening in your community that you have the skills to help to solve. But a big part of that is really speaking to the people and find out what they need, right? You can't go in and solve problems without without empathizing with people and really seeing what they're going through, and then working with them to co-create the solutions that you bring to the table with your own superpowers as well.
Awesome. So by and large, we are thinking about from the classroom to the world to really expanding in all areas and all facets and all spheres of our life. And the main theme that has been coming up from all of the panelists here today is that you have to think about where you fit in. What are the skills that you have and how you can use them to bring value to another community, to another aspect of life, and not just inside of the classroom. Now, when I asked everybody to type ready, I am ready to expand, I saw a comment and I have to pick on it. And I know, Natalia, I'm going to call on you right now to address this one. Somebody said that they are ready, but they are nervous.
You are going to feel nervous because you're doing something new. Of course, it's something outside of your comfort zone. But just like how you're able to stand in your class and you're able to take command of those 45 brains and you're able to nurture them, when we just started teaching, it's scary, but it's a muscle that we keep building. And so it's good to know that you're starting, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And when you're going to grow, you're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to feel scared. But you have to just get up and you have to just say, listen. And that's why it's important for us to document our winnings. Oh, at age 18, I was able to do this. At age 21, I was able to do that. I talk about keeping a journal of your success. How were you able to attain success? Because when life happens, we forget that we are a winner. We forget that winning is inside of us. We forget that we were born with a winning sperm. We were created as winners. That sperm, outsmart, outwork all the other sperm, and so we were born as a winner. So anything that is not in alignment with you saying that you're a winner, it is not of God and is not how you were born. We were all born winners. We are all champions. We are champions in our schools. We are champions in our classrooms. We are champions in our community. We are champions in our home. And so when we go out to start our business, when we're going to do something new, we need to champion that champion in us and say, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is for me.
Yes, yes, yes. We have to, that mindset needs to be nurtured from early. If you really want to get rid of the nervousness and step into that new venture with confidence, you have to start pumping yourself up early from, you know,
in our classroom, just as LaShawnna was talking about social impact. What in your school is not going well? What is there that's not going well that you can solve a problem? You can go to your administrator and say, Miss, this is an issue that we're having, the students are having, the teachers are having, and this is how we can solve it. And it starts there. By doing this one task, by implementing change, that is how it works. No, I don't ask anybody for permission, you know, at my school. My principal, there's a principal, but in my class, I ensure and I tell my HOD that, listen, I like to motivate, I like to inspire. And on the days when my children are feeling so down and out and they're struggling with SBs, struggling with teachers, they're struggling with problems, I show up as the motivator because I am a motivator, and it starts there. And the more you impact life, the more you grow that muscle, and so you can come out and expand and launch out and go and start your social media page, go and start your YouTube channel. That's where it starts, by practicing. With bloom where you're planted, you're in your school. How are you making impact? The resume, when you sat and you did that interview with your boss, if they should take up those notes, are you that teacher today? Are you that passionate teacher? You said, oh, I'm going to be doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When my principal takes up that list, my principal knows that that is where I'm at. I was at Turks and I left for health reasons and I came back. And when I talked to my principal, listen, I'm coming back to Jamaica. Is there a vacancy? She was like, yes, because she know what I bring to the table. She know that I'm going to solve problems. She knows that I'm going to be putting myself out there, developing my students holistically. And so it creates opportunity from that. So wherever you are, give your best to your students, give your best to your school community, solve the problems there, and then you will be able to solve bigger problems, bigger issues.
I'm glad you brought that up, you know, Natalia, because I remember 2 years ago when I just started out and I was going into these schools, having these teacherpreneurship workshops with these individuals. And one principal said to me, Mrs. Barnes, are you coming to take away my teachers from the classroom and leave me with an empty school? And I said to him, no, I am not, because teacherpreneurship does not mean that you must quit your teaching job to do something else. That is not what it means. It means that, and this is the phrase I'm going to use from Natalia, you need to bloom where you are planted. So there are some of you, like me, who might want to quit and do something completely different. And that's okay. You have to be true to you. But
Right.
There are some of you, like others, who still want to teach. You still enjoy the classroom very much and you're not ready to quit. You don't have any intention to quit. But here's the thing with that. I know for sure that based on my experience in the classroom since 2006, that there are majority of teachers who are just going through the motions. And we know that there's something else in us that we want to see manifest, and we just hold it in because we're sticking to teaching from
We feel the tugging.
Yes,
We're
yes.
feeling that tugging, that listen, I need to do more, I need to launch out more. And some persons are afraid to invest in themselves. They are so you know that you want to come out of the classroom like Julia. I don't know when I'm gonna leave, but I know I enjoy teaching chemistry. For right now, I'm here and I'm doing my thing on the side and I'm coaching and I'm doing other stuff. But you have to know that there's a learning curve, you know, that we all go through in learning. Let me find the teacher in here. 1 second.
LaShawnna, well, all right, Natalia, you're back. All right, good.
All right, so basically, when you want to learn something new, you're gonna start and you're gonna learn and you go up like that. Then Mama cannot show. You're gonna reach a plateau, right? No, when the plateau comes, we need, just like how we push our students and say, listen, keep learning, keep going, growth is going to come. Many of us start many ventures, and when I was like that, when the plateau comes, guess what? We just quit and we say, oh, this idea is not for us. And when the plateau comes, in order for us to grow, that is where we need to seek expert attention. That is where we need mentors. That is where we need coaches. Even in the regular classroom where we have HODs, getting new teachers, the new teachers are going to come and they're going to be feeling frustrated. In order for them to move from this plateau to grow, that is where mentorship come, and that is where a seminar like this lines up so that teachers can get mentorship. Teachers can move from plateau and grow. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that demonstration, Natalia. LaShawnna, we had a conversation before and we were talking about the whole concept of teachers not wanting to invest in themselves to really grow and flourish. Can you talk to that?
So, like we said earlier when we spoke before about people just not either being not wanting to spend the money, right? And then also not necessarily seeing value in investing in coaches and mentorship, but beyond, I think there's a trajectory, right? Everything doesn't necessarily have to cost money at first, right? It's surrounding yourself with the right people. Like, do you have a tribe of people to talk to you about the things that you're doing? Are you getting feedback from the people that are using your service or your product, right? So it's a holistic approach to that support, and then that expert support is necessary as well. But I think a lot of times people are deterred because they either don't have a network or connection to the person who's providing it, so there's a trust issue sometimes. And then also, if it's not relevant, they don't necessarily feel that they can take that information and use it moving forward, they're going to be reluctant to actually spend.
Yeah, and I want to ask you guys in the comments, when was the last time you spent some quality time or significant money on something that was going to help you develop personally, to grow and develop? And I'm not talking about a conference that is required by your Ministry of Education. I'm not talking about a workshop that you will get some points from JTC or whatever your governing body is. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about you spending some time, some energy, some money on something that's going to help you grow and develop personally. I want to see when. Just tell me, last week, last year, 2 years ago, never. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys hearing us? Sharon says not since university. How long ago was university, Sharon? Tell me. I need to know. The rest of you, I'm waiting for your comments to pop up.
I invested in July. I invested in a business coach. That was my last investment. I'm a part of the
hold on, Natalia. 10 years. Go on.
You said 10 years?
Yes, Jodianne said 10 years. Christine said yesterday. Somebody said 2 years ago, over 10 years, a month ago. Cannot remember. Last year, September. Now, you see the trend that is coming here. One person so far, I'm seeing where it says, this month? You sound like you're itching to say something, but go ahead.
All right.
And I'll comment later on.
Basically, in order for you to grow, right? In order for you to live your dreams, you need to learn new skill. That is where it comes in, right? So if you are not, you can't say you want to start a business. When I was starting up my online class by myself, I wasted a lot of money. I placed ad in the newspaper multiple times and nobody called, and the persons who called were not able to pay my fees and stuff like that. No, basically, when you get expert help, they are going to reduce the time that you need to set up whatever it is you want to set up. So you don't need to go through 10 years and then you say, oh, it took me 10 years to do this and I have to learn whatever. You learn from the expert, and so you're able to go on. You're able to accelerate your goals faster. You're able to get what you want to get done quicker.
Right. But it's important to take stock of what you do well and the things that you don't want to invest the time in learning to do, right? So there's a focus area. You want to go spend some time and shore up your skills in that, but there's some things that it's just not necessarily something that you have to invest in. So if you take time to reflect and figure out like what are your goals, your strengths, and what are the areas of weakness, then you can kind of like find a path to the type of support, because a lot of times we spend money on things before we realize what we actually need and what we don't need. Because I know for sure here, when I first became a teacherpreneur, I spent $3,000 US on coaching that was not necessarily beneficial to me because I wasn't ready for that type of coaching. So it's important to understand your level of readiness for this. Are you willing to jump out the window and spend a bunch of money because you're really clear? Or are you still exploring? And there's different types of support depending on where you are in the process.
So, but what they need to do is first identify what it is that I want. What do I want to accomplish? So you need to have a goal. And the thing about goal, why a lot of people procrastinate, why a lot of people are inconsistent, why a lot of people quit, is because when they set the goal, they don't navigate. What is it? You have to first audit yourself. Okay, for example, me, I wanted to start an online class. No, I had to say, okay, what am I going to do? Which platform am I going to use? And some of us, we want to go ahead. People were telling me, oh, I need a website. When I started my online classes, I was teaching in my bed on my phone, right? So I knew I just wanted a space where I was just teaching. So for me, I wasn't ready for the platform. As LaShawnna said, you're not ready for certain things sometimes. So I knew I wanted to start small. And to know I haven't expanded in a website, maybe in a year or a couple months, I may have a website. But for right now, I just want to teach. I want people to know that, listen, this is the girl that offered the chemistry extra class. You understand? That's where I'm at. No, I just want to get out there, make an impact. And so when I wanted to expand, because I had 4 students and I wanted to expand, that's when I said, okay, I want more students. So I'm going to get the business coach. She's going to teach me how to get the clients. And that's where it starts. So first, you have to assess your goal. What is it you want and where are you going to take this at first? And then you can decide, okay, what skill do I need to add? Because there are a lot of things entrepreneurship needs to know. Like, for example, I need to probably learn about emailing and whatever. But for me, right now, I'm not there, and I'm not going to spend the money until I know I have my thing up to a point where my testimonials are up there, and that's fine. A lot of us think that in order for we have to have the website ready, we have to have the PayPal, the swipe, everything ready. It doesn't. My PayPal never work. As my friend get my PayPal, I use my friend PayPal account. Is when she wake up, she say, "How so much money in my PayPal account?" I'm text her and say, "Oh." Yes, because she's 3 hours behind and she was able to send my money to Jamaica. So I never made the fact that I didn't have a PayPal deter me. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to collect money. So PayPal is not responding to my message. PayPal is not responding to my call. I made it work some other way. And we need to find that resourcefulness within us so that we're able, and that resilience so that we're able to pursue our goals without thinking about what everybody else said, or looking at what does this other school have, what does this other person have. We need to see, what do I have, what do I want, and then start from there in terms of investing and leveling up.
All right, so I want to piggyback on a lot of what you guys said. I was taking notes. Remember, guys, if you have any question, post them in the Q&A section in the chat. We're coming to them when we get towards the end of the discussion. First of all, you made a good point about focus, because we don't necessarily want you to, well, we're not advocating full stop for you to go out and spend your money here, there, and everywhere. You have to first identify what it is that you want to focus on for your teacherpreneurship venture, and then you're going to channel your finances in that area. So don't spend a dime until you know what exactly you want, because then you're going to be wasting your money spending it on things that are not essential for your growth and for the growth of your business, right? Now, the other thing I want to point out is that even though we are talking about spending like real money, we're not saying that there is anything wrong with free. There's absolutely nothing wrong with free. You can do free. Here's the problem with doing free. It's going to take you a longer time to get your goals achieved if you are spending your time and your energies just focusing on getting free content, free help, free resources. What you can do in 5 years with everything free, you can do in 5 months if you literally invested in getting the right people to help you to achieve your goal. Understand? So nothing wrong with free. If you decide you want to do free, but understand that the next person beside you who is doing the same thing that you are doing, and they decide to invest some money into a coach, into a program, into a conference, into anything, they are going to get there faster than you simply because you're holding out on free. And here's the problem with a lot of us in Jamaica as teachers, and I have to come close to the camera when I say it. There is a culture that we have in Jamaica, and everybody knows this. Teachers do not like to spend money. And it's not right. And I can tell you from coaching a lot of teachers online, I have teachers who their business is geared towards helping other teachers. So essentially they want to charge other teachers to offer them products and services. And my advice to them all the time, I say, guys, do not focus on the local market because Jamaican teachers do not spend money. And everywhere I go and have that discussion, I have never had anybody that disagreed with me because it's a cultural thing and it no look good or no stop it.
That's true. I've been promoting monetize your teaching gift, monetize whatever gift you have. And I've been calling teachers for the past 3 weeks from August 1. And to date, only one teacher has paid. Teachers don't invest in themselves. And I invested $1,500 in my coach, and I'm giving you the same lessons I learned, and I was able to grow my business. When I look at myself, how I was 3 months ago to now, I've completely transformed, and it's because of coaching. And I'm trying to get teachers to invest, start something. I'm going to teach you how to monetize your gift, identify your gift, start your own thing. I've even gone as far as sending them the amount of money I earn every week. I send a screenshot and nobody has bought in. So we want to make money, and a lot of teachers have loans. A lot of teachers are stressed out. A lot of teachers have health benefits, have health problems, have to be buying medication. A lot of teachers have students. But we all, instead of saying, what can I do? What problem can I solve? How can I go and make money? Instead, we say, all right, which institution can lend me some money this month? And we need to get out of that. We need to understand that we need to create our own opportunity. We need to find ways that we can find problems to solve. Money is created. When we decide that, listen, I'm going to create an opportunity to solve a particular problem, to address a particular pain, I'm going to be that person who solves it, then we are creating money. We begin to work for more than what the ministry is paying for us on a monthly basis. So we need to get to the point where we're saying, listen, I'm over lending agency. You have to get fed up, you know. For me, my entrepreneurship started when I was fed up. I get paid every month and I was totally frustrated. 3 days leading up to payday, 3 days after payday. Sometimes I just couldn't go to the end of the month without borrowing money or going into my savings or something like that. And I said, God, I have too much gift for me not to be making money from this. Show me how I can make money. And so we need to understand that we have to create our own opportunities. The government is not going to do it. The ministry is not going to do it. Our principals are not going to do it. Our spouses are not going to do it. You have your skill set. You have your gift. It's time to level up.
Guys, let me just say this. And I want y'all to pay keen attention because I'm watching the comments, you know, so I see everything that is happening. And we know almost, I'm going to say almost, because it's not everywhere. Almost every country in the world, almost, we are one of the lowest paying professions. And we are not, let me repeat, we are not going to use that as an excuse not to live out our true potential. Like if you're going to use that as an excuse, might as well you just throw your hands in the air and say, this is it. I'm just going to be a miserable teacher all my life. Do that. You understand? We cannot let the fact that, listen, when I left the classroom, I was being paid 60,000 Jamaican dollars every single month. That was my salary, 60 grand at a very posh prep school in Kingston, Jamaica. That was equivalent to around $340 US at the time. So I was not making enough money. No teacher is ever going to make enough money. But here is what you have to do. You have to learn to prioritize you. And I shared something like that on my social media page this morning. It's okay to take care of you guys. Yes, the bills have to be paid. Yes, the kids have to.
Yes, teacher. So if you want your life to change, you have to be willing to say, I'm ready to change. I'm ready for change. Sit down, audit yourself. What is it that you have to give to the world? And it's very easy. LaShawnna spoke to this earlier, that the things that we have, it comes naturally to us. Me love chat, it just comes naturally. You have to tell me to shut up when we stop talk. And so that is why I'm in this. I've been helping my friends to launch business, up level their career, and I've been doing that for time and time again. I got no money from it. This month I booked my coaching. I booked a client to coach her, teaching her the same tools I've been giving to my friends for free. And now is the time we can say, okay, you have these testimonials, you have helped your friends to the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now is the time to say, okay, how can I establish myself as an expert? How can I monetize my gift?
And a lot of times I think people are afraid to just start because they're unsure, they don't necessarily have the confidence. But you can just, if you identify like this, what they call a minimum viable product, that one small thing that you can start to offer to people, whether it be at a really small amount of money or for free that you can get feedback about, that's one way to keep going, right? So you get to see whether or not people are willing to spend on the service you have, if the solution that you have for the problem that you've identified is actually something that people want to invest in. The same thing when you think about yourself and investing in your own professional growth and development. It's like, what's a skill that I need to improve that's going to help me leverage and move forward, right? So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we're afraid to start, and I'm gonna tell you about my story. I decided, LaShawnna, that I'm going to have a marathon, right? And this is where imposter syndrome comes in. When I decided I was going to start the online class, I was like, who know me? Who's going to come? And I started fearfully, but I said, listen, they just need to see you teach one time, because your students, them always say that you're a good teacher. So let them see you one time and they're going to come back. And today, my previous customers, they keep sending customers to me. So that's where, but imposter syndromes are going to come in, because I remember I did a marathon. I did 3 marathons last month, made a nice money, enough money. And LaShawnna, the morning of the marathon, the voice came in and said, oh, you have to go on Zoom, go teach 60-something students. That not going to work. Them not going to learn, them not going to do that. And I had to interrupt the dialogue and I have to say, listen, I am the best. I am an excellent chemistry teacher. I have taught over 50 students in my class at one, 57 to be exact. So 5 more is not an issue. I had a seminar at my school and 120 students were there, and I taught them and they all learned. And so you have to know that negative thoughts are going to come up, even for any idea you have, but you have to train yourself not to listen. You have to reprogram your mind. You have to reprogram this limiting belief and talk yourself out of it. So many of us are not pursuing because we're not pursuing our goals because we are afraid. We don't think that we are worthy of it. We don't think that we deserve it. We think that other people are more skilled than us. But we can look at ourselves and see how many people are in a higher paying job that don't have the skill set that you have. If you check it out, there's quite a lot of people. So it's not that you have to be more skilled than the other person. No, you don't have to be more skilled than the other person. Start where you are. Get your thrive. Person, your customers are there. All of us are employed at a school, and all of us are different teachers. Right now, you take a poll, there are several business teachers here right now, but all of us have a school that we're working with. So we're thinking that there's too much competition, that, oh, I won't find customers. Customers are out there. If you check pharmacies, there are over 100 pharmacies right now, thousands of pharmacies in Jamaica, and each of them have their customer. There are several schools, private schools. Some are expensive, some are cheap, and every school have teachers employed there. Every school have students coming, spending their money and stuff like that. So know that whatever you're doing, if other people are doing it, it's an indication that, listen, money can be made outside of this. And when you learn from other people, when you decide that this is what you're doing, you carry your own unique personality, your own unique skill. And so you're going to offer a different stance to the product than what LaShawnna is offering. So if I decide I'm going to create a create space with and I'm going to get Jamaicans to take American, the fact that we're from a different culture, we're doing things different, our market will be out there. So many of us are saying that too much of that, come out of that conversation. People need what you're offering.
Thank you so much for that, Natalia. I want to emphasize the fact that, and I know I said it already, but I know some people didn't hear. We are not, under any circumstance, advocating for you guys to walk out of your teaching job tomorrow. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're saying that you have a choice. You can do that, or you can still take Natalia as an example, because LaShawnna and I are out of the classroom as full-time classroom teachers, but Natalia is still at her job as a chemistry teacher, and she's utilizing her skills elsewhere in the capacity as an entrepreneur, as a business woman. And we don't want you guys to think that this is any patty shop business, you know. Because in Jamaica, we know what that word means. When you talk about patty shop, you talk about a little thing on the side that is not formalized and it's not really going anywhere. We're just doing a little thing for now and hoping we can make a little quick money. We're not talking about that. Renee used the word pimping when we pimp out our children. and we sell them a little thing here and there. And we're not talking about when you get your barrel at the end of the year or during the summer, whatever time you get your barrel in Christmas, and you decide you're going to go to your neighbor, your friend, your auntie, or your cousin and sell them a little 2 t-shirts or a 1 candy, or what is that soap that everybody loves again? I can't remember. Bath and Body Works, exactly. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about packing up the back of your car from all of your barrel goods and you drive around to all of your teachers. No, we are talking about setting up something that is legitimate and that can allow you to thrive. We're talking about building a legacy. So in another 10 years, when you have that legacy, your business, that you can look back on and say, you know, when I was a teacher, I did this. I did this while I was still in the classroom, and I was able to make XYZ amount of money out of it. I was able to take that trip to Paris with my family. I was able to go on this hotel and don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay for that. I'm able to really live my dreams and enjoy life the way you want to. That's what we're talking about. No patty shop business around here. We're encouraging you to really develop legitimate business. So I want to ask you ladies, and I'm going to share a few of mine as well, and we're going to jump into the questions pretty soon. What are some of the different types of businesses that you think as a teacher, it would be easy for them to transition into as a teacher?
So when I think about there are education positions that you could do. There are things that are outside of education. Say you are a writing teacher, you teach some type of like literature. You can write content for other businesses, right? So you can be a freelancer in that way. So again, it doesn't have to only be something that has to do with teaching. It can be, this is your superpower, and there are other small businesses or people who can use that support outside of the time that you're in the classroom. So that's just one example of how people who are educators can use their superpowers as entrepreneurs.
Also, guidance counselors, even regular classroom teacher, you've been motivating and inspiring people, your students, to change their life. You can go into coaching. As LaShawnna said, if you're an English teacher, you can become a ghostwriter. If you like to write, you can become an editor. There are people who are looking editors. There are virtual assistants job online. If you are good at organizing people and getting people to do things, you can start your own teaching network where you said, we are a group of educators and this is what we do. We can consult with you to do ABC, whatever. You are good at speaking. You can say, okay, each month I'm going to be showcasing my skill. I'm going to be talking at one hotel or one business. I'm going to be talking at one school each month. You can develop your own teen series. If you're good at organizing, you're very good organizer, you can develop your own journal, your own planner. We are so out there. We find the assignment book. This assignment book has been in existence from I was a student. You are good at graphics. Why don't you organize one? Why don't you say, okay, I'm going to develop an assignment book that every student in Jamaica is going to use. I'm going to get it. I'm going to pitch it. I'm going to work with graphic artists. Because we all have our talents. It's just to figure out what can you do. You are good at cooking. You're the home ec teacher. Why don't you say, okay, I'm going to get some persons in the community, ask my principal, can I use this space? Why don't you record videos of you baking and get persons to sign up on that? You're good at event planning. Why don't you start planning your friends' children birthday party? You're good at baking. Why don't you start baking Christmas cake and stuff like that? You're good at sewing. Why don't you start the sewing business? Why don't you make cushions, you spreads and stuff like that? It's what you're good at and monetizing that gift. We're not saying go and learn something new. We're saying that your gift is within you. We're saying harness that gift. How can you monetize this gift so that you're creating monetary opportunities for you and your kids, so that you can create generational wealth? Too many of us in the classroom are poor. Yeah, we're we're earning middle income, but at the end of the day, after we pay these bills, we don't have any money. So we are just as the person who is living minimum wage. When I talk to teachers, as I said, for the last month, I've been calling teachers. When I hear some amount of money that are on the pay slip, me like, and this is me complaining about my salary? Like, really? I'm making more money than what some people are making, and I was uncomfortable with the amount that I was earning. How do people survive? And what is in your hand? What can you do? You're fertile land. Should you be planting? Should you be saying, I'm going to be selling some ground provisions to school? What is it that you're good at? What makes you alive? What could you do for your entire life without getting paid for it? Start using that to get paid.
And to summarize that, and this is a statement I'm taking directly from you, Natalia, what are you good at? Think about what you are good at and what you absolutely love to do. So from that entire list, what is it that you are absolutely, you know for sure, you can do this thing with your eyes closed? What are you good at? And then pair it with what you love to. You see those two things? And it's an and, it's not an or. It's not what you're good at or what you love to do. It's what you're good at and what you love to do.
And as I was struggling to find my purpose and my gift, what I had to do, I had to ask people. So in my purpose course that I teach individuals to discover their purpose, and I'm going to give everybody this, I'm going to ask you right now to make a post on social media, whether it's your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Instagram. Ask people, what am I good at? What am I good at? And the answers are going to be in clusters. Most persons are going to say the same thing. So if you're struggling and you're confused about what your strengths are, because it comes so naturally to you, you overlook it. So you need to get your friends to tell you. And when they tell you, you need to actually believe them and say, what do I love? Do I love doing this? Could I do this for the rest of my life? Yeah, when I did my poll, everybody said, motivate, inspire, teach chemistry, and I do that, and I don't have a problem doing all of that. So that's where you need to start. So if you're struggling to find ideas, do a poll, do a survey, call your best friend, call your mother, call your father. what am I good at, and take them seriously when they tell you.
Yeah, we're going to be jumping into the Q&A in 3 minutes, guys. In 3 minutes. So get your questions ready. Yes, LaShawnna.
I was going to say that, and ask those questions, but then pair it with what you actually do. I think as teachers and educators, we don't always break down. So if you're a mathematics teacher, what does that entail? What are all the pieces and parts of becoming or being an effective mathematics teacher? And then you can, after you break those parts down, when you get the survey from people about the things that you're good at, you can match them, right? So like, what does that actually look like? If somebody says you're really organized, you might not off the top of your head think that, you might say, okay, you think that, but where does that show up in my everyday life? And you can match that to what you do. And then it kind of gives you some synergy between what you know about yourself after you've done that inventory and then what other people think about what you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Sound advice. Guys, let me just say this, because understanding your purpose and really understanding what your calling is a whole nother class and a whole nother lesson. And I think LaShawnna is going to tell you a little bit about that before we close. So this that we are sharing with you today, like how can you pull out that innate talent that you can pair with your teaching skills to really build your teacherpreneurship business, is going to take a lot more than a 1.5 hour session. And so why I'm saying this is that when we end here today, we don't want this to be it. We don't want you to listen to what LaShawnna and Natalia and Julia have to say. And then, oh yeah, you leave here encouraged, empowered, hyped up, and you're ready. And then you think that I'm going to build my business off of everything that these 3 ladies just said. No, you're gonna have to do some more deeper introspection. You're gonna have to do some more research. You're gonna have to find out things on your own. And if you can't, then find a coach. Guys, don't be afraid to spend the money on the coach. I can tell you your acceleration and your growth will come. So before we jump into the Q&A right now, I'm gonna give you a list of 10 careers that teachers can really step into right now without coming outside of the teaching sphere. So the first one is you can become a tutor. That is the easiest thing for any teacher to do. You can tutor. So whatever subject area you are currently teaching, you can start a tutoring business. A good example of that is Natalia. She's a science teacher and she has her chemistry tutoring business, right? So think about that. The other thing, easy peasy, is for all my early childhood peeps like myself, you can start a childcare business. So nowadays, COVID-19, people still have to go to work, schools are locked down. Who is going to take care of their kids? Run the start a business. Do it now. You're going to get clients right about now, especially between now and October. You can become an author. Teachers know how to write. We know how to put subject and verb together, write a book. And you don't necessarily have to write a big motivational book. You can just write a little kid's book. You can write a book that is suitable for the subject area that you teach, right? Another thing, make sure you're taking notes, guys, because I'm not repeating these. Another thing is that right now in this season, we have a lot of people who are now jumping in homeschooling. Homeschooling is a big thing. I've been homeschooling for years and I'm right back into it through COVID-19. So if you can assist parents who are now just getting into homeschooling and they need some help, try to figure out how you can use that and build a business around it, because that's a great need during the COVID-19. What else can you do? You can speak. You can become a professional speaker. You stand in front of 45 kids every day. You can talk to adults, right? What else can you do? And this is my area of specialty, online courses. You can use your skills. You can use your expertise. You can use your talents. You can use your story to create courses online. And when I say online courses, I'm not talking about subject area courses. I'm talking about courses that are going to impact people's lives and charge them money for it. So there are so many things that you can do. And in addition to these that I just listed, don't forget about what the other ladies said about pulling out what you're innately good at and use it to build your brand. So we're going to jump right into the questions now. So let me see what questions are coming up from the Q&A section. All right, Sabrina is asking, I need information on how to actually start online teaching. All right, so we can look at that from two ways, Sabrina. We can talk about the online courses And we can talk about you teaching online as a tutor. So I'm going to address the courses part, and then Natalia and if LaShawnna wants to chime in on another aspect. So when it comes down to teaching courses online, you literally can teach a course on anything. And when I say anything, I mean literally, as long as it's legal. And there are some things that are illegal that people are teaching courses online and making money off of. And what I teach in my program is what I call the CREST method. You create a course around what you're knowledgeable about. You create a course on what you have gotten results from. You create a course on what you are an expert at. And if you don't know whether or not you're an expert, I help you to decide what your expertise are based on an activity that I give you. And then your signature story, that thing that you don't want to tell anybody about, the thing that caused you the most pain, the most hurt, and the most regrets in your life, you can use that and turn it around and make money from it. That's how one of my biggest selling online courses is from a program that I taught called Position for Purpose. And I've retired that program now and put it into my teacher mentorship. But that was, I literally turned the story of how I was able to discover my purpose and turn it into a course that people pay me hundreds of US dollars for. You understand? So you can look at teaching online from that standpoint. So let's look at teaching online from the standpoint of creating as a tutor. Go ahead.
All right, so basically you decide that, listen, I have expertise. I went to college, I went to university, and I studied all of these things. But as we said, which subject are you the best at? And if you want to become an expert in any subject, you see these TXC reports that they give you yearly about the results, you need to use them. That was how I was able to get my students on the merit list from my very first year teaching, because the merit list tells you upfront, these are the weaknesses that students have in a particular subject, in a particular topic. So when you know the weakness now, you're going to tailor your lesson to ensure that your students don't have these weaknesses. So you decide which subject you love, and then you just study the report, study that these are the trends, this is what students have challenges with. Develop your own program. How can you overcome these challenges that students have without them even knowing that it's going to become a challenge? And then you just go out there and you market yourself. So if you want to set up your side hustle, if you want to set up your online tutoring service, if you want to do that, I'm offering a training August 29th. So this is this Saturday, where I'm teaching you how to set up your online classes. How do you position yourself as the expert so that you can get customers? Because when I started, I spent so much money of creating ad in the newspaper, I didn't get any customers, and I spent money. So I'm going to teach you the mistakes I learned, the mistakes that I had encountered, and the solutions to overcome them. So you can start by just telling people, I'm going to say, if you don't want to come to the training, okay, I'm going to be offering extra class, make your flyers, send them out to people, have them call you, and you start. Set your rates and you start. So it start by finding your area expertise, making a flyer, get yourself out there to say, I'm offering this service, get your friends who are in other teacher group to say, pass your flyers, parents who are in PTAs at schools to say, I'm offering this service. And that's how you start. Facebook too, people will share it, your friends will share it, and that's one way to get yourself out there. But that's where it is.
All right, so another question here. Multiple persons are asking, how do they get a business coach? Now, it's not getting a business coach is not just going around and asking, okay, let me see which coach I need to pick. No, that's not it. You first need to identify what business you are going to focus on. If you are going to become a tutor, then you need to find a tutor coach. If you're going to be jumping into baking, then you need to find a baking coach that is also versed in business. If you want to learn about online courses, then you need to find me and I will coach you. If you need to start a social entrepreneurship venture, then you find LaShawnna. You first have to identify what is the area that I'm going to focus on for my Teacherpreneur business. And then you go stalk people on social media who are in that specific area, because these are the people that have the most knowledge in that area. And those are the people who are most equipped to help you. You don't just want to randomly find a coach, because you're going to find yourself spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on a coach that is not able to assist you because they are not as an expert in the area that you want to progress in. So first identify what your business is, and then you're going to look for a coach. A good place to find coaches is on social media. Say you want to become a tutor, just go into Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, type tutor coach, and you will see a bunch of people come up, and you can go ahead, follow them. First of all, check them out, see what they're up to first, see if they are really legitimate and if they can do what they say they can do. And then you then decide, do I need to invest in making this person my coach? But don't be random about it, guys. Don't be random about it.
And be be really clear about what you want from a coach, because there's a difference between a coach and a mentor, right? So mentors do a lot more hand holding and advice giving. Coaches are not always going to do that for you. Coaches will ask you questions to get you to think about what your goals are and how you're going to achieve those, and unpack the barriers, right? So there's difference in terms of expectations from the types of people you're going to work with. So it's good to talk to someone who's worked with the coach to hear kind of like what their experience has been like, and then identify what you want. So then when you're going to select the coach, you pick the right person for you, because every coach is not going to be a good fit. So you don't want to get, really deep into coaching sessions, and midway you realize this is not working for me, and you committed to a contract that you really are not going to benefit from.
Yeah, that's great. There's a question I want you to address, LaShawnna, because I'm not sure if I'm the best person, but here we go. What teacher entrepreneur options are there? And I'm trying to understand this question as I read it. If you have no interest in selling things or doing any kind of extras.
So I guess I'm wondering, are you just looking for additional money? Right?
So, like they want to earn passive income.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's passive income, then there is still a learning curve. You still have to get that focus, because passive income, when we talk about passive income, basically we're talking about making money while you sleep, and there are multiple ways to do that. But you still have to have a focus. You still have to put in the work. And then eventually down the line, then that income starts to become passive and you don't have to work as hard. But anything that you're going to step into, Thalia, in my mind, you're going to have to put in some kind of work to build it. Ladies?
Right, whether it's just understanding, if it's investments, understanding how it works so that you're knowledgeable about where you're putting your money, that's going to be some of the work. It may not be a lot of front-facing work with clientele, but there's that research and building your skills to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, which is important. So going back to what you said about mentoring and things like that, you still would need that.
All right, go ahead.
You without doing extras, so let's say for example you want to you're a teacher, you can do one-half marathon once every time exam is coming up. You just do a one-half marathon, but whatever you're gonna do, you still have to do a work. Maybe you want to offer group classes, so you only do it one time and you collect your money and you go. But anything that you're gonna do, you have to learn, you have to do some extra work in order to make extra money. We don't know how to print money. We can't print it. All of us would have had it. So you have to know that you have to put in some work. Your dreams require sacrifice.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So a question here from Jade. Do you have a list of websites where you could find jobs? All right, so my response to that, Jade, if you're looking for a job in particular, you can search any of what are the names of the word? Sorry, they slipped me. All right, I'm coming back to that. If any of you ladies can help me out. But when
if you want to do freelance, you can do Fiverr.
Fiverr, Fiverr.
You can, if you want to teach English in China or Japan, there is, what's the name of it? I'm going to put it in the chat.
I'm trying to remember them. When I started out as a free, I was still teaching part-time. Sorry, I was teaching full-time, but I was doing freelance work online part-time. And this was from as far back as 2014. I was doing freelancing work for teachers, for clients all across the world. So some of the websites that I used back in the day were Fiverr.com, Fiverr, Freelancer.com. I don't like it so much, but it is there. And my favorite platform at the time was peopleperhour.com. That's where I did all of our projects. If you type in freelancing websites or freelance platforms inside of the Google search, a ton of them will show up, right? So there's Fiverr, there's Freelancer, there's Upwork, that's the other one. There's People Per Hour. And there are a ton of websites that help you to teach English online. My brain is getting foggy with those right now. I don't remember them. But those are the ones that you can go to if you want freelance jobs on the side. You remember any others, ladies?
So what SharEDTalent does actually is connect freelancers. So if you go to our website, SharEDTalent.org, you could apply to be a freelancer. And what we do is match freelancers with projects from schools and education-focused organizations on a on-demand gig basis.
I'm ready to sign up. Give me the website.
No, can you type the link for SharEDTalent in the chat? Okay, I found it. Sorry, it was taking a while to load on my end. So I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys now, so you can get access to LaShawna's website, so she can connect you with schools.
On IG, what's the IG handle so people can start following you?
It should be on the screen, but it's SharEDTalent.org.
Yes, I placed it in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it in.
So y'all can find me on my IG at Pretty Motivate.
All right, so let's put all of those links inside of the chat. And I'm just gonna go to, we have 2 more minutes before we wrap up, guys. I'm not seeing any more questions popping in. So before we leave here, let the audience know what specific products or service you can offer to them to help them build their teacherpreneurship business. I want LaShawnna to go first because we're on the SharEDTalent note.
So right now what we're doing is actively recruiting freelancers to match them to schools who have a bunch of things that they need done, as well as families who are also looking for teachers or support while they're engaged in remote learning. So that's one thing you can do to get started. But I also provide strategic planning coaching. So I'm a strategist, right? So I do a lot around helping you map out and think through the entire process of idea to testing and feedback. So you can also just message me at the SharEDTalent website, and I do that as well. But again, a lot of it is really just thinking about what your superpowers are and what you have to offer others, and then find out what they need, right? Sometimes we have ideas about what we think people should have, and it's not necessarily what they need. So it's matching the two and then being flexible enough to make adjustments to what you thought was necessary so that you're meeting the needs of others.
All right, guys, let me see in the comments, for those of you who have already clicked on the link to go over to SharEDTalent, let me see. All right. Type it in the question, guys. All right, we have another minute. Natalia, your turn.
All right, so basically you can find me at social media at Pretty Motivate, right? That's my handle. I also do coaching. So I wrote a book, Recipe for Winning, a Guide to Success. I'm coaching persons how to accelerate their goals, discover their purpose. I also do a lot of purpose and mindset training, and the product that I'm offering to teachers right now is how to monetize your gift. So we're telling you that find what you're great at. I'm actually going to teach, I'm going to show you exactly to find out what you're great at, how to position yourself as expert, how to get your money mindset ready so you can achieve your financial goal each month. So this training takes place on August 29, this Saturday. The cost for that is 15,000 Jamaican dollars, and my clients who have taught the program have been able to earn way more than that within their first month. So the program pays for itself. So if you're ready to work, you're ready to start your side hustle, you're ready to monetize your gift, we can talk.
All right, so for those of you who are interested in learning more about how the Boss Teacher can help you, I'm going to share with you 2 links, well, three links right now. The first one is my website, which is thebossteacher.com. And when you get there, please just use the link that is on the homepage to get the checklist to join my mailing list. What that does is that you get added to my mailing list, and then I'll be able to send you updates on things relating to teacher entrepreneurship and online courses. The second link I'm going to be sharing in the comments is for my Instagram page. Go and follow me on Instagram. That is where I share a lot of updates and day-to-day things that are going on with the Boss Teacher brand. The third link I'm going to share with you is for my YouTube channel. Now, this is where I need you to pay attention, because tonight at 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, I am hosting a free session to help individuals start their basically teacherpreneurship brand. So if you are looking to go online with your teacherpreneurship venture, then we are starting a whole series every Monday night at 7:30. I'm going to be on YouTube sharing that information with you. So there are 3 links from me in the chat. The first one is for my website, where for you to join my mailing list. The second one is for you to follow me on Instagram, where I literally live. And the third one is for you to join tonight's free session. We start at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be about Boss Teacher online business workshop. So if you're thinking about building an online business, we talked about the freelancing and so on, then this is going to be the workshop for you. Now I'm going to invite at this time our host and very fabulous Renee, Dr. Renee Rattray. If it had not been for her, we would not have been having this session, guys. So I want you to put a clap. Just type the word clap. I don't know if you can find the clap emoji somewhere. And just welcome back Renee on screen so she can close off today's session. Yes, I see the claps coming in, Renee. They like you. They like
Oh my goodness, listen, thank you so much. I am excited. This was a great way to start, ladies. I am appreciative. Haven't you guys received so much information from these young women? I'm proud of them. The first time Julia reached out to me, as she suggested you guys needed to do, it was so refreshing to see somebody with all this energy and who was interested in continuing to contribute to teachers and to the work in education. And then LaShawnna and I did this great conference together some time ago, and Natalia, who is just always on fire with words of inspiration and encouragement. I'm proud of her. I met her years ago when she submitted some students in Science Genius Jamaica, and she was this boss, excited teacher. So I'm really delighted to have you ladies come and share on how we can pivot. And now more than ever is the time for that. It's reinventing ourselves. It's making sure that we are excited about teaching. And sometimes you just need to shift gears a little bit and expand what you're doing in order to find your love again, in order to find your passion again. I mean, I speak to so many schools and teachers and principals, and very often we're just, you know, we go so hard and then we're not finding the joy in it. And I have promised myself that I'll never do a job that I wake up not wanting to do every day. And the minute that starts to happen, you have to change the way you're doing it in your school, in your classroom, and then expand yourself, expand your thinking, read, learn. Oh my gosh, this session has been rich. And if you feel it's been rich, please give some love to these ladies here. Julia Barnes, you can find her on all social media channels at The Boss Teacher. LaShawnna Harris at SharEDTalent.org. And you can find her with that handle as well on social media. Natalia Whyte, Pretty Motivates. All you science teachers, connect with her. Connect with her, because she is doing great things and is always willing to share. So please go look them up, write them a message. They really are approachable. And they wanted to be here to be able to share all of what they know. And that's what's so exciting about the persons, all the people here who came on this panel. They're not being paid to do this. They really just feel passionate about transforming the way we do education and changing the conversation for our young people. And that's why I was drawn to them, to bringing them on, asking them to do this. So I want to say thank you so much, ladies, for extending yourselves. Natalia, what are you saying? Are you saying something?
Yes, I'm saying something, and this is what we're talking about. It's finding a problem. So Renee is a mother. She is an advocate. She's about changing education, and so she saw a problem that she could spearhead and find a solution for teachers, find a solution for parents, find a solution to board. So look around you. What are the problems that need to be solved so that you can, like Renee, network. LaShawnna talk about networking all the time. So you can network and pull off something like this for your school, for your community, and earn an extra income. What problems do you solve?
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Natalia. You know, I see somebody saying it's all about the talent, but you know, it's even more than that. I think it's really about your gifts, and each of us has something. That's what I know, you know. The reason we have different fingerprints is because we've been given different things in this DNA that we can use and that we can impart. So I just love that whole bit about asking around to see what it is that you do well, because the people around you know it, they see it. And you see, Natalia, she loves to chat. She loves to do that. And she's found a way to make her gift speak for work for her. You know, my mother always used to say, your gift will make room for you. And I believe it with all my heart, that whatever it is, you need to stop and be silent. The quieter you are, the more you will hear. And the more you read and learn, you will begin to see what you're good at. And when you're in the classroom, ask your students to tell you. Very often we forget that they are our customers, and they can tell you, Miss, you see the way you do that, the way you develop an assessment for me, it makes me, the way you teach me that concept, and those kinds of things will help you to grow and to learn. So I want to thank you, everybody, for tuning into this first session. We're off to a good start. I'm looking forward to the others coming up. We have 2 more. One of them begins at 3, so you can take a little break, grab some water, use the bathroom, but don't go too far. When you come back, you can refresh your link, and when you do that, you will be on for the next session. So I look forward to seeing you in a few minutes. Don't be late. I'm a teacher, former principal. We don't do late. So we'll be back here, and thank you for all your comments and for participating. More and more and more to come. See you in a bit. Thank you, ladies.
Winning.
Welcome.
We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're